Good morning, chat. Or at least morning for those who are on the East Coast. Uh, this is something I've wanted to do for a bit, is do packet radio. And I've been doing some tests with the handheld. I didn't quite get all the gremlins out of the Chromebook's magically moving volume sliders, but I found a workaround. In fact, I remember this happening to me when I had the ThinkPad T40, which was my previous ham laptop, which I haven't had a dedicated ham system in probably 6 years, but yeah. Just as a note, chat, at 9 o'clock I have a hard pause. I have to call my superintendent. I have sparking coming out of my fuse box. Not right now. It only sparked when I reset the breaker. But it got stuck in this weird fugue state, so I put a maintenance ticket in. I just want to make sure that ticket got received. There's someone always... there's always... The fuse box is attended, so I'm not as worried about it as not, but it's like... You know... I'm really astounded that this apartment has not killed me. I've already gotten some pretty nasty electric shocks from it. It's part of the reason why I'm not staying. Now that I have a viable alternative, but sorry. I'm getting old man mode in the morning. Anyway, I wonder how many, it's interesting. I had that distinct feeling that amateur radio was going to be low turnout on my channel, and so far that has been exactly what I've expected. But I've got the video done for the next video, which is a Windows NT one. I just uploaded it to YouTube this morning. Patrons will get it on Friday, as will members. And then it will go public in a week or two. I think we're going to be on a once-a-month video cycle for the foreseeable future, so... Oh, God, I feel really... I don't know how I feel. Like, it's been a rough few nights, and it's definitely been a bit of an back and forth. Anyway, I just had this realization is currently the live stream is actually from the Pi directly. I wonder if I should just capture the VNC viewer. I kind of like it because then I don't have to have the VNC viewer open. Yeah, you can do exactly that. Or you can route IP over radio. That is actually going to be kind of my end game with this. TCP/IP was used on amateur radio before it was used on ARPANET. And in the 80s and 90s, a member of the general public could access the internet as it existed then for amateur radio bands, because amateur radio operators are considered non-commercial. It's not only an FCC regulation; it's international treaty. So this is very old law, going back to the 1800s and spark gap. It really predates anything relating to today. Like, the regulations are that ancient. Alright, so you can entirely do it. So essentially on the computer side, radio is how good you are at routing audio. There are digital modes in ham radio. They do exist. But they'll either exist as a serial interface if you're using a dedicated hardware modem, or you're going to be modulating and demodulating audio. Let me check the stream on my phone. You should be hearing, like, radio sounds in the background. That is the APRS traffic. Modes in hold on. Radio. They do exist. But okay, yeah. It's in the background. It's a little soft, so let me bump that up slightly. I'm still learning the ins and outs of this setup, because the Pi is actually streaming directly. It's running FFmpeg, so the audio and the video are coming off it. I don't have it on an HDMI adapter. So this is something I found out the other night. There is a actual net on APRS I was reading the system bulletins on APRS FI, and I discovered that this exists. It's a bot. It's actually in the Philippines. I believe if I send it question mark, and this will go out on radio. The path gate means I just want to be gated to the internet. I could do this completely over internet, but I have the radio out, so let's actually do it over radio. So what this is actually doing is transmitting an AX25 frame. The data frame is then modulated under Bell 202 tones at 1,200 baud. On HF, you have to do it. Oh, I got a response back. I didn't like that command. Let me send it help. And like, if I was in the laptop in the car and I had the handheld, I'd be able to reach this as long as there was an iGate within 50 miles. I'm playing with packet radio. That is what I'm doing. That is a lot of messages it's sending. So one thing you have to notice is that the messages are time marked. APRS does not guarantee delivery. It could deliver more than once. It could deliver multiple times. One of the big things in ham radio and radio in general, how the internet appears to us today is an abstraction. Most things will appear reliable even if they aren't. In a lot of places, even UDP is now actually reliable under the hood. In practice, the fiber optic links on layer 1 have become so refined that it always works. Radio is not that. Radio suffers from line noise, it suffers from modulation. I get a lot of background noise here in New York City. I have never tried high-speed data, and high-speed here is 9600 baud. It doesn't go fast, chat. Yep. These are the same noises. Back in the, shall we say, good old days of radio, what would happen is you could basically hook up a teleprinter or a glass terminal to a modem and then connect that modem into a transceiver, and now you are online and have access to other people's computers. Imagine basically screen sharing across miles. I mean, that's how packet BBS works, at least interactively. The amateur radio today is very different than what it was in the, shall we say, the good old days, although I question how much the good old days really existed. So basically, I sent a message to APRS PH. This is a bot that is hosted on a radio repeater in the Philippines. I don't know how it's actually communicating with me. Is it question mark? I think it's, yeah, APRST for the pass. So let's see how it's actually routing to me, because this will cause every station that is transmitting me to append. You have to understand how the packet works to actually see it. Let me look at the actual incoming data, because it might. Command not found. Didn't it? Is it a different type of message? It might be a controlled message. Maybe, oh, maybe general station inquiry. That may be it. But actually here you can see the routing path it took. That's a long routing path. I suspect it's actually longer. I'm not even being asked to be digipeated. Yeah, it was. I was heard by K4DXB. Where's that Where is that station? Why am I being heard by? That's an out of area call sign. Application, please come back. Oh man, it's getting, okay, there we go. It's a little laggy over VNC. Running FFmpeg definitely doesn't help. Yeah, I just have a 2 meter, I have a 2 meter antenna on a cooking sheet that I wedged out a window. That's it. That's what I'm working with. I don't have a view of the sky. I see brick buildings all around me. I'm not on the ground level, but yeah, that's it. And I'm transmitting on 5 watts. What helps is that I have no idea what station heard me. Actually, I want to look at that call sign. What was it? Because the asterisk at the end of the call sign means that that station heard me directly. Oh, it's okay. Someone. I was. Wow, that was actually. I got heard that far. I was heard. Where is this? Here. Let me bring it up on the map. That is not. Hold on, let me rearrange my windows. Oh, no wonder it's so slow. I have multiple VNC windows open. That would do it. Let me do a little scene juggling here, chat, because you should see it. You should see how far it actually went. I'm actually surprised I was heard with this setup. I was heard that far. Studio mode. Why are my scenes all kind of like screwy right now? Do I really not have a scene for this? Oh, I didn't want to do that. I think I just did something bad to the stream. But I was basically heard on the other side of the bay. That probably went about 20 miles easily. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just got heard about 20 miles per hour. That's why I want to show this. You know what? Here, I can add to the Pi Vision scene. I'll just add a display capture. I will fix this later. That's not what I want. You know, Chad, I really feel like technology just kind of hates me today. Alright, there we go. Alright, so the station that heard me is here. I am all the way up here. I'm right in this general area. So that means I was heard all the way over it. My radio packet left the state of New Jersey. It crossed New York airspace, went back into New Jersey, and was heard here. How far is that? It actually, if I put myself in. See, the base station heard me. Maybe the car heard me? Yeah, it's not. Stations heard directly. Yeah, this doesn't always work. So yeah, chat, that's about a 30-mile contact. That is about... I must have had a little help. What's the weather look like outside? Yeah, chat, that was probably... I probably got a little bit of help from band depropagation. The weather conditions are right for it, so instead of fizzling out... Normally, under normal conditions... usually I get heard by a tower right about here, or one here on Staten Island. So for me to actually have been heard that far, I'm a little surprised. Then again, it's not guaranteed that that's the route the packet actually took. This has been your ham radio learning lesson with N. So that was interesting. That was not how I expected this to start. So, one of the biggest problems you have with radio is it's a very much figure it out for yourself sort of attitude, and trying to figure out how you get on packet BBS is not what I call simple. So I want to try something. So yeah, this is the raw. That's Dire Wolf. Let's leave that alone. I download the source code. Okay, go away, please. That's FFmpeg. New window. Yeah, that's what I want. Let me do screen here. Hold on, screen. Oh, you know what? I can type like this. This is fine for me. It may be a little laggy on stream, but I think it'll be okay. I really need to switch the user account on here to my call sign, but one thing at a time. So this is what's called JNOS. It's a network operating system. It is a interesting piece of software. A lot of ham radio stacks basically run as a userland application. The Linux kernel has an AX25 routing layer. I've heard it's broken, but I've never actually tried using it, mostly because the documentation for it was last updated in 2001. It's probably still accurate, but user-friendly it is not. So I figure, I also don't know how well this would work half duplex. Right now I'm using the base, and the base I could... No, I actually... I have to think about this. When APRNet and IP were actually being used over radio on a frequent basis, most amateurs probably would have been able to manage full duplex operation, because at that point you'd still been mostly working with baud. It would have been the tail end of the vacuum era and the early part of the transistor area. So separate transistor receiver transmitters were still pretty common. I'd actually have to look at the timeline. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm not sure that's right. The internet itself switched over to IP on... It was either 84 or 86. APRNet was around in 81. 44net is ancient. Yeah, also, I've never gotten into LoRa. It's just not a thing I got into. So, okay. It told me we need... Alright. So let's just run make. I ran that, so run configure. Chat, that's really optimistic. You should now be able to run make. Good luck. I'm gonna let that build. I'm gonna stand. Alright. Oh man, yeah, this is a very old code base. It's not the oldest one. That I think that would be NA9Q. That was the original TCP/IP slash AP AX25 stack. Honestly, I think I'm going to try and do that with the portable. I'm actually. It should work on an 8088. I mean, it's period correct. I'd have to probably run the really original version of it, assuming it exists. But APRS DAWs is definitely within reach. Because all I'd have to really do is stick a serial port on the Pi, and boom, I now have a 1980s TNC. I've actually done. You know what? No, I don't need. I just need an RS-232 Wi-Fi adapter because the TNC is exposed as a network jack. Hey, look, that's done building. I have absolutely no idea what I do next. I assume it built something. I guess I just run JNOS. Oh man, this software is distributed by rsync. Chat, that's software. I realize that probably doesn't sound really profound, but oh Lord. This is a full network stack. Oh wow, that's actually a little bit scary to set up. Like I don't know what I was expecting. Yeah, they probably are. A lot of radio is really gummed together stuff. It's because there's no commercialization in the space, it's generally a lot of I mean it's literally a lot of dangerous amateurs. I mean I hate to put it in such blunt terms, but yes. I mean the term ham radio, it was meant as a insult to early radio operators who basically got on air without FCC permission in the very early days of, radio. The amateur radio service was basically created as a way to regulate it, is the easiest way to put it. The whole history is very long, very complex, and very different depending on who you ask. I tend to take a more cynical view of it than what I've heard in a lot of ham circles. The problem is that the hobby suffers with a bad case of old. The average age of a ham radio operator is 70. And I think it wasn't much younger when I got licensed in my 20s. It was one of those things that I just decided to do one day, and I don't regret it because I've had a lot of good experiences, because a licensed amateur is something a lot of people like to have when you're doing cons and such. So I had opportunities to get on air. I didn't do a whole lot with it, but I had a few wins with it. And it got me out of the house, which was always a good thing. So I always have a happy when I deal with ham. All right, this thing has got to have some documentation of some sort. Like this is ancient voodoo. This is why I'm doing it on the Pi, because I'm literally might need both monitors. This is ancient. All right, so okay, so how the configure script goes. So you need to create a runtime area. So all right, so let's actually do that. So it's saying I should. Oh, I just see how this works. I'm actually locked in a shell, aren't I? Can I escape? That don't help. Exit. That is a really... All right, you know what? I'm actually going to add user here, and with the intent that I'm going to switch everything over to this user at some point. You know what? Do I want to do this now or do I want to do this later? You know what? This Pi is ultimately my test bed. I don't really want to... Well... Let me get it running first, and then I'll get a little bit more ambitious with it. Because ultimately, I need to screw with the systemd scripts on this thing, so it's always running direwolf. Because in theory, JNOS should be able to do everything direwolf does, but I don't actually know that for a fact. So it's telling me that I need JNOS. Do I want I or... I think I want I. Alright, so that's JNOS running. So now I need to find radio ports. I will provide you an example of my live autoexec.nos as well as how to set Linux to NOS networking. Just give me a week to get this site organized. Thank you for your patience. This page was last updated May 3rd, 2024. Hey, at least it was this year, chat. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, presumably, I have to create... Alright, so download and compile development code is here. My live system. Full blast demonstration. Wow, it even has a full IPv6 stack. That's actually kind of impressive, all things considered. Okay, so documentation. Early attempts at JNOS 2 user manual, Office XP 2002. Oh boy. Let's hear plain text. Chat, this is a manual. Like, let me bring it up so you can see what I'm looking at. Does copy paste work between systems? Nope. That's the name of the host there. Oh, you know what? I know how I can get it over there. I can copy it over like... I need the other machine. Great, and there's broken SSL certificates. Why does Chrome let me download it and... Oh. Chat, you can't see me, but my face is in my hands right now, and I'm just kind of... This is fine. Like... Amateur radio is like going back to the 90s in all the bad ways. And when it comes to doing digital anything, because that's basically when it was all written, and unlike the modern internet, the underlying transport mechanism didn't get magically any better. We didn't get laws of physics 2.0. Because realistically, one of the biggest problems with ham radio is there is a limit of what you can do without an engineering team. That combined is that realistically most of the advances have been in trunking and other such systems. Like, I don't know how much trunking's actually. I have no idea if trunking on the HF is a thing. Alright, I gotta figure out a way to get this manual onto the Pi. Alright, I got half an hour until my hard stop. I really feel like I'm not getting anywhere today. You know what? I can save it from Chrome. I can save it on Chrome, and I can copy it by SCP. Man, chat, remember when the internet used to work? Like, a lot of why things started becoming encrypted was partially in response to the NSA wiretapping scandals, among other things. It wasn't the only reason, but it was... There had been a push for years that encryption wasn't being used on the internet because certificates are expensive, or... so that's where we got Let's Encrypt, and like, it's probably a good thing for privacy as a whole, but it also means a lot of things stopped breaking, and the internet becomes less of an open system, for better or for worse. I don't know if I'm being... Let's see here. I think the Pi is on 10. Yeah, the Pi being on 10 sounds right. Alright. Hey, look, chat, a manual. Okay, yeah, no, it was, sorry, it was Phil Karn's KA9Q. That was basically the original network stack. This is a descendant of it over many, many years and decades. So this document addresses command set, blah, 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 similar to known to most BBS programs. This is provide easy transaction. Mailbox. Okay. Here we go. This section probably needs a bit of an overhaul since the original documents were written back in the 1980s. Here are some abbreviations and terminology used throughout this manual. You might even find some of these humorous. Chat. Oh Lord, this is going to be... Hostname is the TCP IP name of a computer or packet system. This is actually talking about the days when TCP IP, where the internet and amateur radio were still fully interoperable. before encryption existed on the net. Let's see here. NetROM serial protocol. Okay, so this is the document you actually need to read to understand the Linux AX25 documentation. Maximum transmission unit. That is much more literal here than it normally is. Internet is a worldwide high-speed computer network. It has thousands of computers at schools, companies, and amateur packet radio systems connected to it. Schools, companies, and amateur packet radio systems. Chat, this document was updated before general availability of the internet. Port or interface means the physical connection to radio systems or other. Okay, yep, that's fine. Right, so slip interface, PPP interface. So if you want to route, basically, if you want, the two ways to do it over dial-up is essentially when two modems talk to each other, it's the equivalent of a serial connection versus a it's essentially two serial cables plugged into each other, never mind the entire AT&T between 2 points. Or in our case, radio airspace. But same point applies here. In practice, we have SLIP, which is serial line IP internet protocol, which basically puts IP address point on 1, IP address point on 2, and routes it. And then what will happen is that the packets, the IP packets will be removed from the SLIP. They'll get transmitted in an AX25 frame. I can't Wireshark that at the moment. Question mark? Actually, I could. I just thought of a way I could actually do it, but we'll worry about that later. PPP is the much more complicated alternative. It essentially does automatic IP allocation, and that was in an era where that was not a standard feature. DHCP is only a... I believe the RFC was standardized 1994, because I know some Windows IP stacks don't support DHCP. 95 does. I don't remember if stock for workgroups does. I believe the 1993 release, the original 4 workgroups, Free 1 doesn't. Free 1.1 might. I can't remember offhand. All right, let me keep reading this. So this is talking about all the mail stuff. Now, fortunately, this is literally just going to be like, I feel like there should be an easier way to do this. Like, how do I attach you to a radio line? So status display. I almost want to try the keyboard-to-keyboard mode. There's a lot of amateur packages. Like, if I were to pull up packages.debian.org, there are a lot of ham radio ones there. Well, what was really common is you could run a BBS on a Commodore 64. So and those systems had they had for the era pretty good serial chips. Commodore 64. I've heard that they're a little twitchy at 1200, but I know for a fact they could do 300 baud. No, I think I think they'll do 1200. It's just CPM it gets unhappy with it. Apple IIs were really cheap with disk drives. And realistically speaking, hams are allowed to modify radios. Um, I don't know. I don't want to say how. I don't know how expensive it was in the 1980s because ultimately, you can do ham radio on a nothing budget. I've probably spent only about a few $100s over it over the course of 8 years. The single largest purchase was an HF rig because I told myself when I reached a limit of what I thought I could do with a technician, or at least without a base station, because I did do a few things with handhelds. I did a bunch of repeater operations. I did a bunch of APRS. And I was able to tune into the downlink of satellites. So when I upgraded to a general class, it was at a ham fest actually in New Jersey. I think it was up in Linden. I was still living in New York at the time, so I drove over the bridge. I went to it, and this rig was sitting in a box. It was owned by what we call an SK, a silent key. It was sold to me as a low mileage unit, although I question that. But it was a good price for it, and I figured, supposedly the hobby opens up at HF, so that's why I bought it. Let me put it like this. I understand why there's a lot of people that have licenses and just never get on air. Alright, so so this is basically an entire network stack. So, do I have to set up 2 instances? I was thinking that might be the case where I'd have to set up JNOS and JNOS and connect to each other. Yeah, because here it's talking about connecting it like MS-DOS version. Because, you basically would be able to take you could run this on an 8088. And then you just throw in 2 serial port cards. And then those go to radios. I mean, I think probably you would have been able to get handhelds. I don't know. There used to be a pretty good market for 2-meter bases. The cheap handhelds of the current year have completely destroyed that, but there used to be a much more better one. Although I've seen some pretty decent prices for them on the eBays. There's a lot of reasons of why I'm leaving. I got stuck here because of the pandemic. I had basically been going through the pandemic was both a very good thing and a very bad thing for my life. Let's be honest, it was a change for everyone. But it got me stuck in New Jersey, and then I found myself unable to leave because of the circumstances that had developed. So I have finally gotten to the point that I can actually go, and there's a lot more to this story that I wish to say, but I'm not going to say it just yet. Because until I know... I'm getting distracted today, chat. The biggest mistake I think I made in my life is when I came back to the New York area. I'll put it like that. I was on my way out in 2020, but before I could... Well, in 2020, more specifically in 2019, my life had reached a turning point. I was extremely unhappy with how everything had played out, and on top of that, I have a sleep disorder. I don't get good options, chat. So I decided to see what my actual limit was. I decided to bike across the United States. I had scheduled to start this in February of 2020, and I had planned the latter half of 2019 to doing so. I made it across Florida before the pandemic forced me to stop. I started in Jacksonville, and I called it... I think I got about 10 miles of the Alabama line. I did step into Georgia at multiple points, at least at 2 points. So I didn't get the answer I was looking for, but I had made a YouTube channel called Restless Yankee. It was not intended to be like a big thing. It was me to look at myself at some point in the future. But I had enjoyed making videos more than I had with anything else in my life. And I had gone stuck in a really bad situation. I literally had just a laptop, nothing else. I had some money in the bank, but I had everything in my name. When I arrived here, I had less than 6 boxes. The furniture I got was secondhand from an office being cleaned out. I arrived here with nothing. To give you an idea of the state of my life. When the stimulus check dropped, I used that to build an editing rig, and the editing rig is what started my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel then got me open doors and possibilities that finally let me leave this area. The full story is not a fun one, and I intend to write it down so other people can learn from my experiences. Coming to terms with that, it's like waking up from a horrible nightmare, chat. Because the human brain forces themselves to disregard what's in front of it if it can't do something about it. Because what alternative is there? But I stared back. I stared into the abyss. The abyss stared back, and the abyss blinked first. But it's not a fun experience, chat. But I feel a lot more peace in my life for having done it. Oh, we actually, we just saw a message come in. Oh, wow, that was one. So when I sent help like 20 minutes ago, one of the message packets just got to me. Wow, that took a long time to get there. Like I said, you can get more than one message at a time. So I see nothing in here resembling a minimum attach. Okay, here's something that looks important. Attach and configure a hardware interface to the system. Detailed instructions are in the next few pages. I think AXIP is what I want. Am I going to have to set up a full ton interface for this? Like, this feels very painful. Chat, this is actually kind of painful to look at. Like, no wonder Packet BBS has died off. Like, if this is the entry cliff. Because I'm not even getting to the part of how you connect to the damn thing. I haven't figured that one out yet, chat. APRS applications talk to a KISS interface. In theory, you should be able to attach an actual shell, but, like, figuring out how to use this software, it's like someone has got to have written like a getting started guide. Oh, hold on. To use the installer program to get introduced, it's never used it or struggling to get something to work for them, and the configuration is generated. What you're given. Local mail delivery that now works out of the box. JNOS users can exchange mail with any JNOS users using the send and receive mailbox commands. No rewrite or special files to do it. One AXIP link and one AXUDP link to any host. One RF interface. The TNC must already be in KISS mode. If you choose to install the TNC, you can set up a simple beacon that broadcasts on 20-minute intervals. Okay. Well, okay, so apparently there's an installer package. Because I think I saw one in here. Yeah, there was. Okay. So let me move this to the JNOS folder here. I think I need to change mod this. Yes, I do. If I ever change my call sign, chat, it's going to be painful, but change is a part of life. I can't, you know, I've been going through, I've had a couple of dark nights of the soul. Like, it just comes with the territory when there's been a lot of good and bad in my life. Like, in some ways, it's been a very enchanted life. In other ways, it has been... So, okay, so we have the installer. Run the command in the specified order. So supposedly there's a make file here, but I don't see one. Alright, you know what, let me just grab the package installer. Alright, that doesn't work. And this looks exactly the same. Wow, this... Chat, I'm really feeling it. Alright. It's probably the same makefile. What? It's also included in the latest official release, either in the tar file or rsync package repository. So it's there. Oh, did it just clobber itself? Alright, let me just see if I can compile this. Okay, hey chat, that is actually getting somewhere. I'm just gonna hit yes. No, never mind. No. Yes? I don't have a serial port for it. So this is basically setting up an entire ton interface. And then it tries to attach... So I think we just need to change the attach line. I'm currently looking at the manuals to figure out how to make this work. Okay, so apparently I can't connect it to a network TNC. I'm looking for the manual right now, chat. I mean, we'll go for the options together. I should probably copy the manual to this user account, chat. Wait, didn't I already do that? Well, if I did, it got blown away. So, attach hardware interface to the system, detail, blah, 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 blah. So, configure and attach to a standard PC serial port. Create an RFC 1226 compatible AX25 frame encapsulator for transmission of AX25 frames over IP. So this is if I want to route AX25 over internet. You can do it the other way around because AX25 traffic. Interesting. Well, we're on VHF, not HF. But essentially, yes. Alright, so... So, the Linux kernel has an integrated AX25 stack. The way it works on Linux by itself is that the kernel has a completely independent net layer. It's called net filter. So, if you want to route IPX traffic, the Linux kernel's got you covered. AX25 historically hasn't been supported at a kernel layer on DAWs and, to a lesser extent, other operating systems. It's been done as user space implementations, but the Linux kernel can theoretically route it. In theory, you could basically with just the Linux kernel, the AX25 utilities, and two radios, you could route it identically to IP. I think I have to use SOCA at. I think it's the only way I could potentially get this to work. I have this horrible feeling it's going to insist on an actual serial port. Like, this has got the feeling of that level of software. Let me see if someone's actually done this before. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, Direwolf may support what I need already. Okay, so... Okay, I'm starting to see how this actually works. Wow, this is deep voodoo. All right, so what is this using as an attach line? Create network interface. Is it not actually documented in here? AG. It is not documented in here. Yeah, chat. It's there in the README. When was the feature added? Okay, so you need to do a define. So is that defined? Because it's definitely like the software where you have to enable it. Yeah, no, it does actually look like I have to add this myself. Oh, no, it is there. See, I see it. I mean, it makes sense. This is very similar to how NetHack's internal config works. Okay, so if that's how we actually get this to work... So this would become attach AGPWE direwolf So I actually want to make... So there's a few other things I want to change here. So I want to change the call sign this is listening on. So host name, I'm going to run this as 14. 14 and 15 have been my experimental systems right now, because this is not going to be up fully just yet. I still need to kind of figure out how I want to plot this. Because if I have it respond as 0, just no hyphen, it might respond to APRS packets, and I'm not convinced I have this set up right. So, when I have the bulletin board actually, running. So let's run JNOS. Does this have to run as root? No, hold on. I think I just got to create the ton interface. Sudo... Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading the instructions right now. Alright, so let's see if that works. Not permitted. Alright, I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back. Not permitted, not permitted, not permitted. I mean, I could cheat. I could run it as root. That seems like a really bad idea. This is old ancient Ooga Booga code. There's gotta be a way to fix this. Untap. Okay, so that's world writable like it should be. So I'm going to create the add dev ton mode user I gotta think about this one, chat. Technically speaking, I'm not going to make. I'm not going to make this X. Well, how the hell do I make this run in a way that's not completely batshit insane? Because it's essentially its own independent operating system, and I really don't want that running as root. Oh, right. Hold on. Well, I don't think it's designed to work with cat. Let me look here. Allow user to be created. Okay, so cap net admin. So I've never actually used this. So I should actually learn how to use it. Wow, I really hate this new Google AI thing. It's almost enough to actually get me to use DuckDuckGo. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you actually do that. Is there a way? I might just have to run it as root, and I'm just... Set cap. That's what I need. Nope, still doesn't like it. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a rule with this. I just remembered. It has to be, I have to refer to it with its full file name. I think I have to actually do JNOS. Okay, so it sees a ton interface. Do we actually... I don't know why I can never remember. Link ton 0 up. Link dev ton 0 up. Wow, I am completely failing today. Interface. Link set. That's what it is. Okay, so no carrier. So the link's up. So if we now exit and restart, it also wants to set the right. So now the error actually did change. Now it wants to set. I think I'm going to have to let it run as root, chat. You know what? That's okay because I could wrap it in AppArmor. That's what I'll end. If I have to run it as root, I will run it as root, and I'll wrap it in AppArmor. That's what AppArmor is there for. Okay, so it sees here, and it sees Direwolf. It sees the BBS, so I think it's connected to Direwolf. Does Direwolf show a connect message? Oh, check that out. Someone from Barat had just checked into the APRS net. I'll send a message back. CQ. Oh, it's actually having me send it to them directly. I'll just gate this. Oh, Chad, if I tune off the radio, I'm not going to get replies to this. Okay, yeah, let me gate this out. Let's see if we actually get an acknowledgement. Because if his device is actually online, I might hear it. By sending it to gate, it's basically trying to find a route for the internet. It's towers that have heard this station recently are probably sending out RF packets. Although a -4, I don't know. No, I'm just connected to my local digipeater. I'm connected to 144.39, which is on. There's an iGate in range. So the iGate is hearing my packet, and it's forwarding it to other iGates. I don't think he's going to be able to hear me this way. Yeah, because I'm not getting acknowledgement from the network that I'm being heard. I could transmit to the net. You know what? Let's do that. Like, let's actually do that, because I can then just send a log, and we can pick up the conversation later. Let me find the commands for that. They were posted in bulletin boards. So APRS PH. All right, here's the commands. Oh, so that's how I get to. That's how I get to make it tell me its route. So it's question mark APRST without the second question mark. So send now, and it brings back up my previous chat log. Yeah, so you can see that I'm being heard by N2MH15, and then they're routing me via internet backhaul. I mean, I could talk to the station directly via the internet, but I like going over radio. So let's listen. Let's look at the check-in logs. So we'll do CQ. How is the weather in Barat today? Send. So anyone who's signed into this net is going to get this message. It's essentially a party line. I've never done a net on APRS. I think this is a relatively new thing, although it might have been here for a while. Like, actually, I was looking at it. This has been around for about a year. Like, ham is starting to see a bit of a renaissance. Okay. No confirmation that it... Oh, there we go. And we know that we can see that it was forwarded to a German station, another U.S. station, and the Indian station we just heard. So that's basically... Hopefully everything is sounding good on stream. I mean, no one seems to be complaining. We're up to 17, so there's that. I mean, and this is something you can do with a technician license. You don't need the higher class general. I mean, and if I didn't have access to a digipeater, and I may not in the West Coast, I didn't have a chance to listen, I might just set up my own. I mean, I've got a fair number of handhelds, even a local radio link is amusing, even if it's not particularly useful. All right, so we now got JNOS. Okay, so I'm going to have to tune off the net. And switch to the local band, because presumably Direwolf is printing a message whenever this attaches. So where is Direwolf? I think it's this one. Yeah. So someone's broadcasting a packet, Go Army Beat Navy. Is the Army Navy game coming up? And this is being very laggy. Come on. Did I just, no, I didn't kill it. Why is it stuck? Like the window's stuck. I can't seem to move it. Okay, there we go. Restore. Alright. Am I hearing that digipeated? No, yeah, I'm hearing that. I don't think I'm hearing that directly, am I? I don't think I'm hearing Danbury. That would be almost 70 miles, or 50 miles north of me. It would be at the very edge of the radio horizon. Okay, so now that we've got this here, let me switch off the APRS band. So now we should be completely off frequency. Let's start up JNOS and see if it actually connects to Direwolf, because that means we are ready to start shooting some packets. Oh, well, I'm still going to have to set it up on the other end, but it's a start. Okay, so did Direwolf C tell me something attached? Alright, so let me do like ping KD2JRT 15. Unknown host. Alright, so I think the radio configuration's not quite right. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not right. Alright, so let me look at the little cheat sheet I found. Okay, so start AX25, start Telnet, start SMT. So this interface just basically goes away entirely. Do I want to keep this wormhole interface? I don't think it does anything for me right now. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work on this network because I actually used 0.2 on here. Let me make it 0.3. That would explain why I'm having some problems. Oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah, so shell, I have config, point to point. Okay, there we go. That explains it. That explains it. That probably needs to run a sudo. But that makes sense. So if we do that, hey chat, we can ping it. Can I telnet to it? Not exactly. Am I really running a telnet daemon on this thing? I am actually running a telnet daemon on this thing. Okay. So, can you ping the pi? Oh, I see. Hold on, hold on. I'm starting to get how this works. Okay, so I have to basically treat the JNOS section as a completely separate network interface. It's like running in a VM, except it's just a user land process because it's its own IPS stack. That's kind of annoying, but I mean, it's how it works. So, free one. So no carrier down. Actually, you know what? Hold on. This has got different instructions on how you do this tap interface. So JNOS IP. Let me put on the local network. 11 should be free on my network. Because the Linux, I believe that should work. Like, I shouldn't have to do a full subnet. No, I should... No, it would be the same network, so I shouldn't have to do a full subnet. Well, if I have to do a full subnet, I'll do a full subnet. You know what? This system should probably be 15. Okay, so that's 11. I know it's obsolete, but I mean, this is what the actual instructions say. It's like, this is why I can't stand the IP command, because it doesn't do what you want. It does... I mean... Oh, here we go. Point-to-point, host IP, JNOS IP. Right, okay, now I'm starting to remember how this works. No, I think I was closer the first time. I think with the number of times I've actually set this up in the past, I would know. 32, free 1, free 2, point to point. Attach direwolf 192.168 free 1. So it pings itself, but it can't resolve that. Oh wait, I might need a route. Yeah, I need a route. Because I'm already using this subnet, so it's going out of my main network. That's I think I can just set the net mask. Tap 0, net mask, 255.55.55, 0. No, so, oh, it would be ton 0. Oh, right, it has to be root. This is a project chat. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be trivial, but I didn't realize it was going to be this. But I think it's going to be cool to see some packet BBS stuff going. Alright, so can you actually talk to something this time? So ping 3, 1. Okay, so that time now we now have a route to 192.138.30, so that's correct. Up point-to-point, multicast, destination 32. I'm just currently reading the instructions. Okay, so this is talking about ton create for like an embedded device. JNOS engine. So example data 45, 46, interface T non0. Name of the interface you create, T non0, iFace interface. So IP address is correct. Attach interface like that. Okay, so that's all correct. Then this runs a shell command, point to point, see, do I have a firewall going on this? I don't think I do. Yeah, policy accept. I've had weirdness like this before. Like, when is this repo? How old is it? 4 years ago. Hold on, there's the net to kiss program. Does this do what I think it does? No, that just routes it to a kernel interface. So that's one way to do it. So right, ton create. You know what? I'm going to disable this shell command just on the offhand chance that's breaking the interface. Right, and then nothing happens. Do I run Wireshark? Yes, sent 0. You know, it would be really stupid if this was the thing that was not preventing it from working. And absolutely nothing. Alright, you know what? Let's delete the ton device. Just... Wait, it's... Was it connecting to ton 1? Are you... Chat, that time I got an unknown host. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is JNOS just creating a link device on its own? That might do it. Oh, that is annoying. Okay, if that's what it's doing, it makes some sense. Yeah, look, chat. It actually made a link group by itself. Chat, I've got ping. There it is. That's working over IP. Did Direwolf say it is connected? Attached to AGW client application 1. Ready to accept application. Oh, that sucked. Oh, it's cut off at the bottom by a little bit. Yeah, I can fix that. The Pi can only match 720p at 5 frames a second. Yeah. What I plan to do is I want to put the Pi on Echolink. Once it's on Echolink, anyone with a technician license or the equivalent basic will be able to authenticate to the Echolink system. That will let you have you basically will be able to transmit packets into my network. Because what I'll do is I'll set up a dedicated Echolink node on a frequency here. I need more radios for that. It's probably going to be a 2 handheld thing, but what I really want to do is I want to put some vintage computers on RF. But you know what? It's 9:45. Let me take a brief break and let me call my building. Okay. Yeah. Let me take a break because I do need to call the super. Chat, I'm on hold. I gotta deal with the building, so... I meant to do this right at 9, but I got a little distracted, so... As soon as they pick up, the woman picked up and then put me on hold, so I don't know how long I'm gonna have to wait. I did take the opportunity to refresh one of the tea pitchers, and I'm having a tortilla with peanut butter. I've started picking up a vegetarian diet again. I did it for an extended period for about a year a while ago, but I'm really trying to live better. And cutting meat out of my diet both saves a lot of money and helps with a lot of other things. I'll probably have some protein, but I don't know. I really just want to have more. I don't know. It's like I eat out. I used to eat out all the time here in New York. It's actually really hard to cook here, and it's like I've really been making a much bigger effort to have at least not to eat out every meal, and I'm definitely winning that battle. I've saved a lot of money in the last few years, especially in the last year. The problem is that this technology came obviously in the 1980s. I dial up communication over what essentially did it was that licensing was and is a large obstacle. On top of that, there was a Morse code requirement for ham radio for a very long time. The Morse requirement was dropped in the early 2000s, I believe. I come from the generation of hams that were after the Morse code stuff, because I intended to go into it and learn CW to get my license. Didn't need to, so I haven't. The problem is that you're limited to very low bandwidth. 1200 baud is realistically what you will get over any sort of distance. 9600 is technically what you can actually do on FM. But for a very long time, the FCC had frequency mode limitations.
Or if you want to take their number down.
Yeah, hold on.
Can I help you?
Yep, hold on.
Hi, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I'm at I didn't realize that you actually left up the last. Okay, then. This is my apartment. Okay. Well, I would just see some more things. The actual fuse box. Okay, I just realized I didn't mute that. Oh well. I don't think you guys would have been able to hear me in the other room. But let me put a tag just because I'll have to check now. That's a little annoying. Alright. I'll unlist the replay afterward. Alright, hopefully I just didn't dox myself on air. It's like, whatever. I'm literally here for less than a month. I'll check the VOD later. Okay. Alright, so now that I'm back, let me get it off APRS data packets. I ran into the kitchen, and I can't, due to a shortage of USB-C ports, and like I need actual USB-C ports, I can't use my desktop mic and ham at the same time because I have the Chromebook plugged into the capture card and then a USB hub of the everything else. So I will hopefully find a better solution to that. So that's this side taken care of. So in theory, if I send an APRS keyboard packet to that address, which we can do from the Chromebook. Okay, so let me go to HDMI in. Well, that's interesting how the displays look. That's not quite right. I installed XFCE on this. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so that's how XFCE is dealing with a resolution mismatch. Okay, that's a bit interesting. I gotta find the mode that works the best then. I guess that's going to be it. It's going to be a little bit cropped on the right side, but there's not a lot I can do about that. Yeah, that works. That completely works. Okay. Alright. So I already downloaded JNOS on this, so let me make the directory for it. Alright, let me also make sure I put a flag mark down. Just so, because I'm going to have to look at the stream later. Oh, right, I actually put a password on this thing. So the super apparently came by already, and if he did, he came into my apartment and left without me realizing it yesterday. Or he checked the basement. So at least the ticket wasn't ignored? Question mark? But, I mean... Let me make this nice and big so everyone at home can see it. That should be a fair bit easier to read chat. Well, the data band limits are mostly dead. If I haven't read the actual rules change. At 70, was it? I think it was 70 centimeters where the rates go away. Like, it used to be on 2 meter, you're limited to 1200 baud. On HF, it was 300 baud. On 1 1/4, I think you could do 9600 on the upper hand part of the 1 1/4, and then the band limitations disappear either on 70 or 33. I'd have to look them up. I that was literally last time I thought about that was when I took my tech exam. Because right now I'm just basically. Alright, so there's the installer. So now we've already done this once. Oh, so there was a start JNOS script that I missed. Okay, do I have a config on this? No, I need to install it. I think it's NetTools. Okay, that works. Okay, so JNOS. So sudo nano auto exact. Okay, so my call sign here is going to be 15, 15. Right, see, that's not going to work. So let me put that on 3. See, if I have requested a 44 net allocation, so once I have that, it makes things a lot simpler. All right, so that's that. So let's get this part working first. Oh, right, I have to compile my own executable. Well, I have to set both ends of the connection. We will be transmitting. When I was sending, I sent a few packets out on APRS earlier. So this is going to be a two-way transmission. So I do have to have it fully licensed and such, which basically just means have call sign on. Oh, you need some additional things. Lib and curses. There are a lot of people who actually only get licensed to fly radio-controlled devices, like RC airplanes, RC drones. Like, a lot of people get their tech license for that and that alone. Like, they have no indication of ever doing anything else. Because it's the easiest way. There is an RC-controlled band, but it has very little power. So if you really want to be serious, there's a lot of people who basically get their technician to fly RC vehicles. The Chromebook, which is what we're currently looking to screen at, is it's just a handheld. It's a Baofeng UV. Where's the edge of the terminal? Like I know it's a little cropped off on screen. I can see that. Can I just? Yeah, you know what? If I go down one notch, it's fine. So JNOS. Okay. So can you talk? You can talk. Cool. So if I open a new terminal tab, 1683. What is Telnet in? I think it's iNet utilities. I do have Netcat. Okay, cool. So that does work. So I can connect to it that way. So that means I should just need to connect it to the radio. And I have to actually plug in the radio. So bear with me. So I need to add that to the auto exec. Okay. You know what? I don't think I have Direwolf running. So let's start Direwolf. And I have a handheld right here.
Frequency mode.
Okay. Alright, that should be that working. I think I just blasted you all with radio. Oh, I have Vox open.
Menu.
Okay. Hold on. KD2JRT. All right, 147, 412, 425, and same on the other radio. All right. Let's see. So let's run Direwolf. And connect JD2 15. Which machine is this? Is this 14 or 15? Okay, 15. Oh, I think one of them needs to be 14, one of them needs to be 15. I think I'll make the other one 15 because I don't have the thing running. Okay, JNOS is running over there. Connect Direwolf KD2JRT 14. I don't see the radio making noise. Because I would see something here if it was successfully sending packets, and it does not appear to be doing so. Okay. So... Oh, yeah, that would do it. Okay, hold on. Because I had multiple copies of the same program running. Alright, I have config ping 1321. Okay. Alright, I need to reset this interface. Oh, chat, that was a transmission. That was an attempted transmission. Did we hear it? Yeah, that's trying to raise the other radio. Yeah, and there it is. We actually see it here. JD215. Are we trying to transmit a reply? So that's transmitting. We're decoding it, but we're not replying to it. Alright, let me switch over to the... So now the problem's on the Pi, because the packet made it out. We just didn't get a reply. Okay, you see here? Yep, and that's another send attempt. It's still trying to connect. And my mouse died. Because there's RF shielding issues with this mouse. Alright, so can you not talk... Okay, so you lost your net connection, is actually what looks like it happened. Okay, so there's another copy of JNOS running. I'm assuming it's... Yeah, okay. I see the problem. Quit. Exit. Oh, hold on. I need to switch the screens. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if we look at the log on the Pi... That's the wrong log. We can actually see... Why is it hearing on that? Oh, those are eye gates. Yeah, it's hearing eye gates for the area. Actually, if I scroll down now, which I could do if my mouse was working, because every time it transmits, it knocks my mouse offline. Yeah, see, there it is. KD2JRT 15 audio level. And then it's just hearing a bunch of eye gate traffic. So if we just restart here, and then now that that's there, that sounded like it tried to reply. Hold on, I just saw it transmit. It did actually try to reply. Oh, it's... Yeah, look, it's actually trying to reply right there. Yeah, it sends the packet and then it replies. I have to increase the transmission delay. That's what I have to do. Alright, let's try that again. Let me switch the view because then we can watch it from the other side. Or my mouse. Every time it sends the packet, it's causing RF interference on my poor unshielded desk. Let me move it to the other side of the room. It's on low power. Alright. So connect Direwolf. You know what? Hold on. I can bring up the Pi vision. So now we can see the Pi in the corner as it decodes packets. Let me make that nice and big. Okay, so it's got application ready. Connect. Okay, so it's definitely reading, decoding packets. Oh, you know what? I probably need to restart this. Oh, this is actually completely frozen up. Right, because it lost the packet. I see, okay. So it feels like it's trying to make a connection. Yeah, and then the problem here is that the handheld doesn't switch back to receive that quickly. So it's not decoding the packet. Let me try opening the squelch. That might do it. Because technically when you're using data modes, having squelch open is generally a good idea. I should actually open squelch on the other radio. Okay, that is just not working, period. I was kind of afraid this might happen. The handheld's good enough for APRS, but it doesn't seem to be good enough for a data mode. Let me see if there's something I can do about this. But I think I can't because the squelch... Because it transmits out, it hears the packet. I mean, unless I set a longer transmit delay. My USB mouse being knocked off by this is so annoying. I have a better one, I just don't know where it is. Can I set it to 200? Hold on, let me actually listen to... Let me send a calibration tone through. I want to hear what this sounds like. Sorry, I almost knocked over a glass. Oh, that's right. That's not going to accept new commands. Okay. Let's see if that helps at all. Might work better the other way, to be honest, now that I think about it. Helps if I have Direwolf running. I assume I don't actually... I'm assuming there's a way to make it just, like, reconnect, but... No, the radio's stuck on a hanging Vox. It doesn't switch back in time. Yeah, and it doesn't get the decode. Okay. I was afraid that might happen. Like, you can see it sending the commands to try and run the BBS. But I mean, this is the problem with running Vox on these types of handhelds. Okay. So, I definitely have a major problem if I want to go farther with this. I either need a way to do... I either need a full duplex solution, which is not out of reach. I just have to get a little creative about it. I could use a WebSDR. Damn, okay, so... That is progress. At least we figured out how to set up JNOS. I wonder if JNOS, like... The problem is that the Vox hangs for a good second, maybe two, before it goes. So the base station ring waits for it, and then sadness. Either I need a handheld with a faster Vox switchover, or I need a way to trigger the PTT, but there isn't an easy way to do that. With like a Pi, I could pull a GPIO line, but this is historically why it's been kind of garbage. Let me do a little bit of Googling. Like, let me see if I can find a handheld we can actually do this. I probably need to do full duplex. I probably need to use 2 handhelds to make this work. The base can switch between Vox and transmit fast enough that it doesn't actually care. But if I'm going to do this with handhelds, I'm going to need 2 handhelds. Or I do it with a SDR. I could use an SDR and then just use the handheld to transmit. That's a really horrible solution. So apparently there's this handheld. Wow, this has got a Bluetooth TNC. I might get this. I mean, it's $162, but it would be a full TNC, no additional bells or whistles. But I would think, I would really like to get this to work. I just have to think about it. Like, actually, wow, I can get this handheld for 120. Estimated delivery August 12th to August 26th. It's like I'm almost better off getting another bench radio. All right, let me see here. Is there an easy way I can pull the push to transmit on the Vox easier? Baofeng PTT. Easy Digi Kit for $8. Which is gone. See that? Well, welcome to the world of hand radio. It all just kind of vanishes. Yeah, so it looks like with Baofeng, I mean, this is a known problem with these radios. It's not a problem for APRS because ultimately it's an analog signal. If you're transmitting a carrier, it'll transmit right on top of it. Sound card interface for I was like, if I put it on a Pi, I could make it work, but I really would like this as radio. I think this is a case where I could just simply spend money. I mean, I've already homebrewed one TNC as a portable. This is not a bad play. Like, this is a very cheap handheld I'm using. So maybe a slightly less cheap handheld. Interesting. Yeah, so it's basically, there's a couple of other ones, but this apparently this HD UV98. So I guess my options is I either find a way to trigger the push-to-talk circuit, or I build an interface box, or I just get a radio that just does it. So a few other APRS radios. Tri-band, APRS, data location, Bluetooth audio. That is an expensive base station. I'm kind of looking for. This is going to probably require new hardware. Unless I can get really clever. Baofeng push-to-talk switch. Like, I could do this with the Pi because I could wire it to a GPIO port. I would need an Arduino for this, wouldn't I? Yeah, so this one has a PTT switch on it, but that doesn't actually help me. Because I have no serial port. A separate box is a separate battery. This is, this makes sense to kind of spend money on if I want this as part of a reliable or a semi-reliable kit. So can I get this radio through... Can I get this radio through... Or can I get a radio with APRS from Amazon? That's not going to kill me. Because if it actually supports APRS or Bluetooth... See, there are JNOS BBSs in my area. I could try connecting to one of those. You know what? Why don't we just see if we can connect? Or actually, that's part of the area, the racist stuff. I think I want. No, I think I'm gonna hold off there. I gotta figure out how I get this working, but hold on. Let me look at the APRS map for the area, because there might be something in the area I can actually connect to. Because I believe there are APS. Yeah, look for last 24 hours. This is talking about a ham working. Wow, this is still sending packets. Oh, this really sucks. I think this is kind of a hard limit. The problem with the current setup is you can't hear it because the way the audio is hooked up. The way I'm doing computer radio interface is called Vox, so the radio switches on and off when it hears a packet coming out. The base station can switch modes fast enough that that's not a big problem. The handheld has what's called a hanging Vox, and realistically I might need to figure out a way to make push-to-talk work on the rig. But I did buy new data cables, so I may have a solution to do that, although what it says and how... I'm hoping I don't have to add more interface boxes. With the base, I don't mind quite as much. But, it kind of sucks. Because the radio is half duplex. It can't send and receive at the same time. That's... If that was not a problem, I could... If I had a full duplex connection... Because, I mean, the parts list to build an interface box here, granted, I have a lot of the parts for it already. Here it is, Easy Digi Interface. Yeah, like this here, I'll throw it up on the stream so you can see what I'm looking at. Display capture. Like, this is the type of solution they recommend, that I'm finding recommended a lot. It's basically an interface box, but because right now my radio is very similar to this, except this radio goes directly into the Chromebook. This middle box is not here. And what this is doing is it's basically keying up the push-to-talk, and it's providing what's... it's basically providing an isolated circuit. But like I said, it adds an... Look at all the cables it adds, and realistically speaking... I could just buy a handheld that has Bluetooth for twice the price, but that's less cables I can lose. Mine's in very. I don't have the programming cable. Mine's like an original run UV85. Let me see if there's a better like. Yeah, the firmwares can't be upgraded. What it came with is what it will have unless I take it apart and replace it. This was part of why, like, I've never tried to do anything more than APRS with a data mode on these, so this may be the actual limit. Because essentially what I would need to do is I need to pull down the audio, mic, and input lines on the Baofeng all at the same time. I don't even have those exposed on the current data cable I have. And if I have to do push to talk to the Pi, I'm going to have to repin it with the cable I have, because the Yatsu PTT pin, there is a dedicated pin, but it's on the audio cable. It's not on the cat control cable, and I'm not sure I can push the PTT with the cat control cable. I've had problems with it in the past. Rig Blaster. Let's see here, West Mountain. Well, those are expensive. Yeah, that's not a cheap solution to this problem. That's quite the opposite of that. 100. Let's see here. What's the Rig Blaster Nomic? Like, what do they actually want for one of these? So Rig Blaster Nomic is a small, simple, rugged, and inexpensive sound card interface. Perfect for digital interfaces. So it gives me an actual serial port and radio out. Windows 98 SC to Windows 11 supported. So a Rig Blaster would set me back $70. Well, it ultimately does what I need. I just have to figure out... There's the Rig Blaster plug and play. Like, for a handheld, though... Because if I had a Bluetooth handheld, it does open quite a few bit more doors of what I can do with it. Because ultimately, I want to put the base station in the car. Actually, I need to go to the UPS store later today. Because I should have my rig cables waiting there. So I could see if I can get this PTT to work. But the other advantage is I would be able to use the handheld while it's in the charging cradle. Or theoretically, I could do so. What else? Let me see what else Amazon actually is offering in this regard. UHF only at that price. Yeah, like there's a bunch of DRM radios. DRM, digital two-way, 2 meter 70. Okay, so no, this doesn't support Bluetooth. I'm really surprised there isn't a better solution to this. Because Keywood radios use the same connector as the Baofangs. Yeah, problem is there's no Hamfest near me right now. Or, you know what, actually, hold on, let me take that back. When's the next Hamfest anywhere near me? Because, you know what, it's summer. Oh, there's one in Trenton on the 9th. That's a bit of a drive, but that may be worth it. Especially because the Prius has air conditioning again. Well, I shouldn't say again, because I never had it, but... do I want to dig my ass all the way down to Trenton on the 9th? I just realized I never successfully changed the view. No, I did. Okay, it just never updated. So what cables is included with this? You get a phone cable. So $50, I plug in an Easy Digi, and basically this radio works. I've got 2 of these radios, both with the extended battery, so that's almost maybe worth it. $45 Friday, August 2nd to July 5th. I mean, that's the type of radio I have. Does this include the cables? No, yeah, see, yeah, no, this is like, look, Vox hang time in the radio. You need to use eBay item this. Well, that doesn't feel like, you know, a misleading... I guess what it comes down to is, do I want to homebrew this or not? Because I'm going to have to solve this if I want to do more packet radio, and I might need this on the base rig. To be honest, I don't know. Once I have the rig control cables on it, we'll definitely be going a bit. See, the big thing is, I'm going to have to figure out like an entire packing thing for my radios, because I'm going to need this. I'm going to need the actual radio itself. My concern with the Bluetooth radio is the fact that it's a Bluetooth radio. While I don't worry about signal competition in and of itself, I am concerned battery life. Bluetooth, if it's doing full SPP, it might chew through a lot of battery life really quickly, because I can't imagine it's using low power mode. Because the handheld, let me pull up the handheld I was seeing. Was it? Oh, there it is. Recent searches. Yeah, it was this handheld. It's it's made from China, so it's probably going to take a while to get here. But apparently, that's actually the same radio connector as on the Baofeng. Yeah, that's SMA male, which is not common on handheld. They're common on Chinese handhelds, but not the other ones. Yeah, it's the same Baofeng data jack on it. There's the USB on it. Euro style plug. It does come with a programming cable. And it also has a spotlight on the bottom. That is a chunky radio. Like, that is a proper chunky radio. It also apparently supports Bluetooth. Or GPS. See, this is where you get to the point where ham radio is very pay to win. Because ultimately speaking, I could fix this by soldering 3 wires together and then using an coupler, but then I don't have a very portable solution. If this was on the Pi, I could just connect the GPIO line and make it work that way. That is a decision I'm going to have to make. I also have stuff I have to pick up from the store today. Let me see what other reviews there are on this, because I am... Like, what's the shipping condition look like? Like, can I get one from, like, sooner? No, it really is just like this one brand of radio that has it. There's probably some very high-end ICOMs that have it, but I don't think I really want to pay that much. Then again, that's an all-in-one APRS beacon solution. When would it get here? Yeah, it's not going to get here anytime soon. So I'm inclined to just get the Easy Digi now and also order this. Because I can justify this as a channel expense, to be honest. I can make ham radio. You know, the fact of the matter is I would like to do more with radio modes. Because if I can get stuff like AMPRNet all happy working, we can really go into the history of, like, old internet data modes. So I do have some inclination to actually try and do that. Because ultimately speaking, with this type of cable, I can leave the squelch open on the handheld, which really makes it about as idiot-proof as it gets. Right, because the audio cable from the rig goes in there. It goes into the phone speaker jack. I assume the radio mic jack goes somewhere. These multiple people just selling it. Third picture. Okay, pre-configured to work with the following radios, so nope, that ain't gonna work. So I have to contact seller, send him information, tell him I want it for a Baofeng. The problem is I'm not going to be able to get this from Amazon. I'm really not going to be able to get this from Amazon. Ham radio in the United States has not seen a lot of love in a long time. Realistically speaking, there are no U.S. manufacturers left. Or no, sorry, I believe Kenwood is still left, but yeah, Kenwood they're like the last U.S. manufacturer. There's a few like there, you know, as far as the big names, because ICOM, Kenwood, and Yatsu are some of the big names. Let me see just what a Kenwood Bluetooth radio would run. So here we go, Kenwood radios. Like, let's just see what a US radio would run me versus the Chinesium knockoff. Assuming it loads. Alright, so let's just drag that over here. Hands-free operation, handset, and Bluetooth. Oh, no, okay. So when they say Bluetooth, they say Kenwood means it in the I can use a Bluetooth handset. Let me try Bluetooth APRS or Bluetooth TNC. So there's the Kenwood D75 or the TH. Wow, that's a pricey radio. That is an absurdly pricey radio. So this has it. It's a Kenwood radio. I saw it being sold. $829 new, chat. That hurts. I mean, it is a tri-band. It is a 2 meter, 1/4, and 70 centimeter, but you can buy a good rig for that price. If you've enjoyed this content, consider putting money in the tip jar so I can keep so I can figure out my radio solution. I think I'm going to actually get 2 radios. Or get one. Well, let's see here. Like, there are some base radios which are okay. Anytone's another company that actually makes radios. But yeah, I mean, like, here's the Anytone $329 for this one, although I can get it prime one day. Just out of curiosity, what can I find this for on eBay? So on eBay, I can actually find it for, like, quite a bit cheaper. Although that is a shipping delay. That is a very long shipping delay. I would probably, like, if I want a good deal, I'd probably have to go to a ham fest, but, it's another place that has it relatively cheap. Yeah, it's like, welcome to ham radio, one of the most pay-to-win hobbies of all time. The thing is, I might still need an easy DigiK for the base if it's actually slower on Vox. There is, like I said, there is a PTT pin on it, but it's a pain in the ass to use. But I could have this by August 5th. What else we have for Easy Digi? It really looks like this is just something made by one guy to make it. Oh no, here's one that's made by someone else. It's it is an open schematic sort of thing. And now we're talking about probiotic paste for dogs, which tells me I've reached the end of the eBay listings. Check my tip jar. Oh, someone... Oh, you did it on coffee. That's why the coffee doesn't make a notification. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look. I have 9 alerts on coffee because I haven't logged into coffee in a while. Oh, wow. Thank you for the $30. Unless it was unless it was the Stream Labs one, but I just see the one on coffee from 1 minute ago, so I'm assuming that was you. Thank you so much. That really... That's enough for the Easy Digi, so I guess that is what I'm going to buy. I'm not going to buy it on stream, but I guess I will buy it. If nothing else, I will find a use for it. Because while I might get a Bluetooth handheld, more radios are good. That makes me sound like I have a problem of some sort. I could, like I said, we could try the packet radios, the packet BBSs in this area. I have to find the connection information for them, and it would also give me an opportunity to try going out on Echolink, because if it turns out that I'm going to need an Easy Digi kit for the base, which is entirely possible, then I mean, it honestly doesn't change anything because it's a USB sound card interface. I mean, realistically, $40, for what I pay for the data cable. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up here because this is as far as I can actually take it right now. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will order this and we'll pick it up then. This is your host and Commander signing out and catching you all a bit later. I might stream more ham radio stuff. I just have to figure out what we would actually do. Because I can't hit the WinLink port, so I think solving this is currently my best solution to actually getting on air. Alright, I will catch you all later. With love and Commander. Bye-bye.